Yeah, hello? Hi. Okay, am I last actually?
No.
No, I'm not. Okay, all right. I had a dream last night that I sat at the end of the table. I was sitting beside Daryl Dennis and that I went last, so it wasn't all true, so close. As mentioned, I'm a felt maker. You know, I don't buy, craft felt and make little animals or anything like that. I use cleaned and carded wool and create largely non-functional, really weird sculptures and things that generally people don't like to buy. So there's a few things that have been discussed on the panel that I've just been chomping to touch on. You know, it's great to be able to make enough to pay your habit, but when you're an artist in business, you need to also be able to have a little left over to perhaps pay something like a mortgage, or it might be nice to buy groceries occasionally. So the reality of being an artist in business, it's so true. You have to use business skills, whether you're an artist or whether you're selling tools or whatever you're doing. And for me, a really big turning point was saying, okay, when someone asks me, what do? I say, I'm an artist. I'm not a law clerk, I'm not a student, I'm an artist. I went down and registered myself as a business, got myself a business bank account, and that was it. Kind of fake it till you make it. You say, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I am. And, being an artist as well, people think that you can just log away hours in your studio and, they're just going to magically drift out the door and people are going to send you checks. Well, I would say only 20% of my arts practice is actually in the studio. There's marketing, there's social networking, there's all kinds of things you have to do to put yourself out there and be known. I have retail things that I do, which is basically my production stuff, which while I enjoy doing, it's not my work. My conceptual work, my installation and performance stuff is what I call my work. It's what I really enjoy doing. But I have to figure out how to write grants for those things, or look around for galleries that will exhibit it and pay exhibition fees. And then another part of my work is teaching. People don't want me to come teach them unless I'm creating interesting work. So this conceptual work and these performance pieces and whatnot bring attention to my work, and people say, oh great, we want her to come teach us. If I'm making scarves and bags, people aren't terribly interested in my coming to teach them. So, of my 20% of my arts practice that I'm in the studio, the portion of the amount of work that really feeds me creatively is very small. So that's very precious time. And also when you get in the studio, you can't just say, oh, I spent all this time social networking, I'm blogging, I've made my scarves for this gallery. Now you go in your studio and you want to be creative. Well, that just doesn't magically pour out of your fingertips. You need to create an environment in which you can create. And that is another thing that's been discussed, is connecting with your arts community. Go out and have lunch with a bunch of artists and pore over design magazines. Look at trends. Go online. Look what people are doing in other mediums. Is it small scale? Is it mixed media? Is it, what's going on? It doesn't mean you have to pander to the market. It just means that when you're making your stuff, maybe you'll be able to find your market. So instead of saying, okay, oh wow, the market out there is, is A. So I need to create this to be in that market. My approach is to create what feeds me creatively, and then find that market. Try to find a place to market that. So anyway, that's my tangent.
So Andrea, where was it, when you were struggling at the beginning, when you said, I'm going to have a business, I'm going to be an artist, where was it you were getting your motivation from and all your support? Who were you seeing?
Primarily my motivation was finding my medium. And that's another thing that's very important, is I had been an artist as a child in my whole life and through high school, but really did not think it was a viable career choice. Whether it's, the myth of the starving artist stuff that I can't stand, and also the belief, people think if you call yourself an artist, you're pretentious, which is to me kind of an irony, as the fact that there's this image of suffering for your art, but yet you're pretentious if you call yourself an artist. But I had always done art, but I never felt good enough at it. And then when I found the medium that I'm working in now, it was like, wow, this is it. So I encourage those that haven't found the right thing, take classes outside of your medium. Take a philosophy class, take a you know, you never know what door's going to open and what's going to inspire you creatively. So when I found my medium, I got really good really fast, and then I ended up traveling and learning from some of the best in the world, and now I'm the one that gets to travel and teach and do all that. So
Fascinating. It really is. Do you have a highlight or a low point you want to talk about? I mean, obviously, as you said, you don't want to seem as the starting artist, but it has been a difficult road for you at this point. What's your highlight then?
I think, you know, highlights are things like being published and adding that to your list, or invitational international exhibitions. Those are great. I mean, nothing beats hopping on a plane and knowing that someone's flying you out there to teach a group of people. And I mean, it's pretty nice to get on a plane and know that, you know, that's all paid for. I get to travel, I get to meet people. Seeing my students really get it and really understand and know that they're going to pass on that knowledge, to me, is a real high point as well. As far as a low point, the other day I was in my son's class and looking at schoolwork and things on the wall, and you know, they have their little biography. This is me, this is a picture of me, these are my hobbies. Here's my hero. So it's a high point and a low point. It says, my hero is my mom. She's an artist. She's very, very, very tired. Because I do have 3 children, and that's another thing, is that whatever I do has to fit into everyone else's world. So you have to be flexible, and you have to, you know, what I was doing last year isn't going to be the same thing I'm doing this year or next year, because it has to morph according to my family plan.
How old are your children, if you don't mind me asking?
They're 15, 12, and 10. I have 3 boys.
And if they come to you for advice, what's your biggest piece of advice for them?
I say it all the time, do what you love and love what you do. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Andrea.